Okay guys, let's talk about your zentangle project. So before we left school on Friday, I tried to make sure that all of you guys had one of these little gray square pieces of paper, but not all of you got them, I don't think, but that's okay because we have other sources of paper, so no worries. If you did get one of these, what you can do in your sketchbook is actually trace it a couple times if you wanted to, if you wanted to, just to do a couple extra, if you want to do a practice one first, whatever. Also in Schoology I'll have a PDF that you could download and print if you have printer access at home. But basically what you're doing, I'm going to do it here so that you can see. You are going to take your pencil. You have a square. Let's say you don't have a piece of paper, you don't know what to trace, you can't print it from the website. Any small piece of paper is fine. A post-it note is fine. I found this box of scratch art paper. It's my daughter's. Something like that. Like find a box that you could just trace if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be exactly 4 inches, you know, or if you have a ruler at home, you can, you know, measure and draw a little square. You've got a square, you've drawn it somehow, either you printed it from the website, you've got the gray piece of paper, or you've drawn it in your sketchbook. The first thing you're going to do is take your pencil. Okay, like I said, I'm going to do it with pen right now, but you're going to take a pencil. Oh, my art supplies are so old. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me try this one. And you're going to draw 4 dots, 1 in each corner. Okay? And this is your starting point. And then you're going to connect those dots lightly using a pencil. So when you do this, using a pencil, you're going to connect them, but lightly. Alright? So I'll go back to the marker so you can see what I'm doing. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It could be wavy. Whatever it is. Okay? Then, again, also using pencil, you're going to draw what's called a string or a thread. So this is what's going to break up your composition into different sections. So this is really reminiscent of our project that we did in the beginning of the year, the Bad Hair Day zentangle project, right? So it's like, imagine you had a piece of string, which actually I have some right here, convenient. Okay, and you were to drop it onto your paper, okay? And you would draw those lines, okay? So maybe I will kind of draw something that looks like that. Okay? So there's my thread or my string to break up my composition. Now we're going to switch to the pen. I gave some of you guys these little fine point pens. A Sharpie will work, a fine point Sharpie. If you have any kind of inky gel pen at home, whatever you've got is fine. I would try to stick with black, but if you don't have black, that's also fine. Don't worry about it. So what you're going to do is, I've shared some resources with you in Schoology, is fill in each section with a different pattern. So there's also a ton of resources online of different patterns that you could do, but the idea is you're not going to first draw them with pencil. You're just going to go for it. And this is supposed to be meditative, where you're just sort of getting lost in the process. You're drawing for fun. And we're repeating shapes, we're creating movement, we're creating balance, we're playing with line and pattern and repetition and shape, you know. We've talked about organic shapes and geometric shapes and how that can play against each other. You know, you can include symbols if you want. It's totally up to you what you do. But you would switch to the pen and then start by creating a pattern, and it should be slow. And like I said, meditative. So on and so forth. And then you would just kind of stop, you know, when you get to that line. It's like I might continue this pattern, but you wouldn't see the full circle because I'm just stopping. when I get to the edge. Just doing concentric circles there, and you know, you could do something that sort of, you know, flows also. Maybe I'll draw a line here, and maybe I'll fill that in eventually, and I'll draw sort of like these petal things sticking out of it. Okay, what else could we do? We could do like little triangles. But see how I'm not just drawing straight lines across. I guess you could technically in this pattern, but you could do something like this. And then do you want to draw a line here? Do you want to separate it? Do you want to color some in? So this is supposed to be, like I said, relaxing and meditative, and just get lost in the process of repeating shapes. And it's nice because we're working small, so we don't have to you know, worry about filling up like these giant areas of space. Like when we did this project in the beginning of the year, we had a huge piece of paper that we were filling up. You know, so this is small and it's contained, and you can have a lot of fun with it. Okay, so that is zentangling in a nutshell. Again, you would need, if you have the gray paper, okay, I'm just going to rehash real quick what we just talked about. You take a pencil, you draw 4 little dots in the corners, you connect lightly with your pencil, because once you start to ink this, these pencil lines sort of disappear, right? And then, as if you were to drop string or thread onto your paper, you would divide your composition up into as many sections as you want, okay? And then you would put the pencil down and then switch to your marker and start to fill it in with your different patterns, okay? So I'm going to continue working on mine. If you have any questions, you can find me on Google Hangouts or Google Chat or whatever it is, or message me on Schoology or email. So happy zentangling. I'll see you guys soon.